You're watching
Disney Channel.
Disney Channel.
Hey guys.
Yeah, this is just a...
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Let's try this again.
Check it out.
I'm Debbie Ryan.
Peyton Elizabeth Lee.
Hillary Duff. Dove Cameron. Selena Gomez.
Camille McFadden.
Madison Who. Sophia Carson.
Milo Manheim.
Brenda Song.
Ross Lynch.
Cindy.
Cole Sprouse.
Erica Ferrer.
Jason Dolly.
Raven Simone.
Bella Thorpe.
Kyle Massey.
Peyton List.
Jonas Brothers.
Miley Cyrus.
And
You're watching
Disney Channel.
Disney Channel.
Did that really just happen?
Look at that.
Epic. Magical.
Looking good. Nailed it.
Nice. Wow, this thing makes an awesome back scratcher.
Let's go!
In the daytime, I'm Marinette. Just a normal girl with a normal life. But there's something about me that no one knows yet. 'Cause I've got a secret.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Princess Fly, and this is my partner Pikachu. Call me Coco. I am the Mermaid Princess of the South Pacific Ocean. My name is Karen. I am the Mermaid Princess of the Antarctic Ocean. My name is Noelle, and I am the Mermaid Princess of the Arctic Ocean. I am the pretty Agarian who fights for love and for courage. I am Sailor Jupiter. I'll feel you regret. It'll leave you numb. My name is Sarasa. I am Ichi's sister. Hey, don't forget about me. I'm Roka, and I am Sarasa's sister-in-law.
My name is Kisasoma. The animal in the zodiac that I symbolize is the tiger.
Call me Hirosoma. The animal that symbolizes the zodiac is the sheep, and that is me.
A fine pleasure to meet you. My name is Kotoko. My name is Amu Hinamori. I can transform into Amulet Heart, Amulet Spade, Amulet Clover, Amulet Diamond, Amulet Angel, Amulet Devil, and Amulet Fortune. Hello, my name is Ludia. I can transform into Iris Heart.
My name is Vert. I can transform into Greenheart. I am Nico Robin, a treasure hunter. Pleasure to meet you.
My name is Kami.
I am Ochako Uraka.
Let's go! Hey! Nice to meet you!
Call me Nejire Haro.
I am Itsuka Kendo. Pleasure to meet you. What's up? I'm Black Star!
Hi there, it's me.
I'm Nozomi. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Call me Mavis. I'm pleased to meet you. I am the head of the Furude family, Rika Furude.
I am Kaname Chidori. It's a pleasure.
My name is Hestia. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi there, I'm Machi. Nice to meet you. I am called Rola. Be grateful, I'm not giving you any punishment.
I am La Pucelle. Pleased to meet you.
You can call me Sister Nana.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Rachel. Great to meet you.
My name is Snow White. Pleasure to meet you.
About us, I'm Nagisa 1. And I'm Nagisa 2. What's up? I'm Boruto. It's a pleasure. My name is Hikaru Shido. I represent the element of fire.
My name is Fuhochi, and I represent the element of wind.
I'm Umi Ryuzaki, and I represent the element of water.
Hi, I'm Happy. I'm an Exceed from Extalia, and a member of the Fairy Tale Guild.
Good day, I'm Carla. I am an Exceed as well. And we are also in the Fairy Tale Guild.
Hey there, I'm Wendy Marble. I'm a Sky Dragon Slayer.
My name is Romeo Combolt. I'm the only son of Fairy Tale's mage, Macau Combolt. And I'm a mage of the Fairy Tale Guild.
I'm Hanon Hosho. I am the Mermaid Princess of the South Atlantic Ocean.
Glad to meet you. I'm Rina Toyn, and I am the Princess of the North Atlantic Ocean.
Hiya, I'm Manatsu. It's a pleasure. Hi, I'm Ari. Nice to meet you. Call me Pony Sumotori. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Denki, and I'm the handsome one.
I am Xiaomei. It's a pleasure.
Hello! I'm down!
Hey,
I'm Julia. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Nayuki. Nice to meet you. I'm Hanyu Fernade. And I'm Ayu Tsukimiya. Nice to meet you. My name is Alexis Klein, everyone. And this is my friend Haro. Adam, that's you too. I am glad to make your acquaintance. I am Sarada. My name is Kotome Ichinose. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll promise to do my best on my violin. I am Yukine. Nice to meet you. I am Pikachu Popstar. My songs will reach out to all of you. Pikachu PhD is in the house. My prescription? Knockout. Hi, I'm Rena Ryugu. You look so cute. I want to take you home with me. I am called Alpha Phi. It is a great pleasure to make your acquaintance. They often call me Sayuri. Nice to meet you. I am Kaori. Please don't upset me. Futaba Sakura here. Nice to meet you. I'm Talessa. Nice to meet you. I am Melissa Shield. Pleased to make your acquaintance. And I am Jasmine, leader of the Alvine City Gym. Pleased to meet you.
I'm Reika Nishimura, a sophomore going for my BS. My mineralogy club meets next door. So hi there, neighbor.
You heard that? Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Hey there, I'm Toru Hagakure, the invisible girl. Let's get this thing started.
Hi everyone, my name is Kimberly. Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Hi, I'm Jasmine, a gym leader. Hi, I'm Princess Mimi Tachikawa. And I'm Coraline.
We've made 3 videos regarding Miraculous Ladybug on Chloe's Damnation arc, Zoe Lee, and the plan to save her half-sister. So we're all about to answer the question on why characters like Anakin and Zuko are redeemable while Chloe is not. In this video, we'll explain 1. Why these characters are redeemable, 2. Why is Chloe the only one and Zoe worthy, and 3. How it will stop the Chloe social justice warriors. We will all go over why Chloe is not redeemable to remind everyone in our last video. Then we'll go over characters from Anakin to Cure Finale and the conclusion if you understand what we all meant.
Before we begin, we ask that things you hear cannot be independently verified. This information is to be treated as rumor, gossip, or wishful thinking. Much of what you hear has to be taken with a grain of salt. With the mandatory health going out of the way, let's dive into what we have learned.
Ah, spoiler alert!
For Anakin Skywalker, what Anakin needed was someone to believe in him with no strings attached. And he got that in his son, Luke Skywalker, and Anakin saved Luke and ended Palpatine's tyranny for a few decades and went out on his own terms. Anakin's redemption was an extremely satisfying conclusion to his arc. For Kevin 11, he was stuck in his mutated form in Alien Force because of the Omnitrix. And after the Omnitrix has been self-destructed, he was returned back to normal. Discord, on the other hand, had a very good redemption, all thanks to Fluttershy, who represented kindness. For Pure Passion, or Sabrina, when Cure Peach and Ease were having their conflict, Sabrina reveals her human form and identity and breaks the Clover necklace. And after that battle, E's body dies due to her life being offered, and she, however, is saved by the Akuron, giving her a new form, Cure Passion. Although Lauren accepts her immediately, she walks away, conflicted on what to do. And Cure Passion, later on, uses Happiness Hurricane to purify the Nakewameke, and Lauren's mother offers to let Sabrina stay in their house, to which she accepts. With the Princess Cures, along with Sky, arrived at Hope Kingdom, and Twilight greeted them, and Sky recognized her as Twyla and tried to talk to her. But she does not remember him and wants to destroy them. Using a Dark Princess perfume, she becomes the Black Princess and she nearly defeats the Cures and Sky. But Flora continued to fight back, still believing that the real her was deep inside, and the curious Trinity explosion in an attempt to purify her. With the help of Sky's violin playing, for some reason, it reawakened her memories, and Twyla was freed from Despier's control, and the Cures, along with the weakened Twyla, then escaped Hope Kingdom, with Sky staying behind to fend off an enraged Despier. Marlena, on the other hand,
assumes that the growth of a heart and having memories have triggered a bug in her circuitry and wants to cease contacting with Curiel, as she believes that the perfect world in her mind would fall apart and more pain would be inflicted. But Yell ends her battle by telling the love of herself to Marlena, causing the dimension to fade away, and she collapses on the ground after being kindly patted on the head by Hugtan. Marlena finally cries for the first time, and as she calms down, she gains her free will and revs against Papal, ordering her former boss to leave. She is then being reassured by the Curious that she might have not have found a bug inside of her and is forgiven, as Katrina embraced her with reacceptance.
Chibi was given an evil counterpart, Black Lady, but when she heard about Serapuno's death, her earrings has shattered and caused her change back to Chibi.
Don't forget about Amy, who is the most recent from Delicious Party Pretty Cure. She was brainwashed by the enemies, and for some reason, after she was reformed and taking the Cure side, she actually fainted and had to be in recovery before she could even transform into Cure Finale.
After Serene Octavius the fairy notes and shattered the notes, Mephisto invades Canaan and set up the stage to perform the Melody of Sorrow. Aphrodite speaks with Holly and Kristen.
After Izuku left UA in order to face All for One alone, as well as to protect his friends and family from danger, Katsuki, along with his classmates, departed from school in order to bring him back, following in battle to get Deku to come to his senses. Bakugo genuinely apologizes to the former for his actions while calling Deku his first name, displaying his regret over trying to usurp Deku's strengths by putting him down and for bullying him in the past. And it proves that Bakugo is repentant for his own faults, and him willing to face him in order to atone for his past actions, and now seeing Deku as a true ally, friend, and rival figure. Fleisch, a young maiden they encountered on the Great Bridge of Mithrin, appears on the battlefield and manages to wound Dimitri with her sword, and before she can land the final blow, Rodriguez shields Dimitri, which allows Byleth to kill her, and Rodriguez's sacrifice reawakens Dimitri's conscience, and he realizes that his lust for vengeance has not only consumed himself, but affected others as well. And Rodriguez absolves him of any responsibility for his death and tells Dimitri that he should live for his ideals rather than stay shackled by ghosts of the past. With his dying breath, Rodriguez reminds and remarks that Dimitri resembles his late father Lambert. As a heavy downpour begins to fall, Violet offers their hand to Dimitri and promises that they will continue to guide him. And the other Blue Lions also vow to continue fighting alongside him. This is a pretty good example for a Fire Emblem character to make some redemption. As for Patroclus, he met someone at a bazaar in Istanbul, and her name was Setsuka, and she was a master of battle-style shelf-based sword attacks. And known as Neve to those around her, Setsuka has been taking in orphans and teaching them how to defend themselves. And upon seeing her lightning-fast sword techniques, Patroclus begged her to teach him. She agreed and allowed him to join the orphans for her training. And driven by his single-minded lust for vengeance, Patroclus learned at a surprisingly fast pace, but his teacher expressed little joy at his progress. Setsuka had once lived for revenge herself, but she admonished him not to lose his heart, such dark desires, and young and brash, Patroclus took umbrage at her words and turned his back on his teacher. Looking back on it now, Patroclus realizes that the woman he spurned may have been the closest thing he'd ever had as a mother. What he'd run away was not Setsuka, but his own heart. Clenching the transformed spirit sword tightly, Patroclus swore a solemn vow: "I shall run no more." And, in addition,
After this, Patroclus redeemed himself and saved Pyrrha from her Soul Edge curse. Orochimaru redeemed himself by bringing back the 3 Hokages that couldn't have been brought back by Kabuto. Sasuke, on the other hand, released Suigetsu Hozuki from the tank. He was kept stored in and invites him to join a team he's forming, and when he explains that he's dealt with Orochimaru, Suigetsu tests his abilities to make sure his victory wasn't a fluke, and satisfied, agrees to join him. They traveled to a hideout to recruit Karin and release the prisoners kept there so that she wouldn't have any other commitments. However, Karin refuses to join their team but claims that she is going to be in the same direction as they are. And they visit another hideout to recruit Zuko, the origin of Orochimaru's cursed seals. And as they approach, they are confronted by a horde of escaped cursed seal recipients, but they easily deal them all. Although they locate Zuko easily enough in his cell, he is unwilling to go with them, afraid that it'll kill them in a violent rage. When Sasuke demonstrates that he can keep Zuko's rage under control, he agrees to go with him. Rin is a lone wolf who prefers to depend on herself and herself only, and is determined to find a way to break the curse without help or interference from anyone. And behind her uncaring and aloof front, however, Rin is deeply loyal and passionately emotional, and is tremendously self-sacrificing and selfless, as her entire reason to breaking the curse is to free Haru and find his true happiness, even if it would mean she would be left with nothing in her hands. And although initially Rin appears to dislike kind-hearted people, and in reality, she respects them deeply, but believes their compassion makes them gullible and unable to protect themselves, and thus doesn't even want them to get hurt or suffer. She also likes kind people who remind herself how weak she is and how badly she craves acceptance from those kinds of people who can depend on and cling to. But exactly because of that, she avoids kind people, since she is unwilling to let herself become a burden. However, as time goes on, she begins opening up more, especially after she breaks down in tears in front of both Toru and Haru on 2 different occasions.
Once they return to the digital world, many of the Digidestined's friends sacrifice themselves to save them from the Dark Masters. Mimi is deeply saddened by these deaths, to the point where she alone feels she can no longer fight. And Joe decides to be the one to stay with her so she wouldn't even have a chance to be alone.
Once they are alone, they encounter the wounded Ogremon, and Mimi asks Joe to give him the medical aid. With the newly evolved Metallimon attacks them, their friend Leomon comes to their aid, as Saber Leomon, however, in a later battle against Metallimon, Saber Leomon is gravely injured, though he helps Zudomon defeat the enemy before he perishes, and now realizing that she has to fight and help prevent more friends from dying, Mimi decides to gather all of their Digimon friends to help them in the final battle against Piedmon.
Queen Nehelenia was discovered by Sailor Galaxia, who released her from her mirror and took advantage of jealousy and venom towards the Silver Millennium to awaken the spirit of Sailor Saturn deep within Hotaru Tomoe. Once released from her mirror's silence, Nehelenia gradually corrupted Mamoru with a shard stuck in his eye. This caused the other Super Sailor Guardians to try and fight her off, but was defeated one by one. Only, eventually Usagi was left untransformed and she learns about her past. Despite Nehelenia's attempts to make her hate her so she can destroy her, Usagi refuses to hate her and instead forgives her for her actions of vengeance. Nehelenia was finally able to realize the true friendship and kindness she never even had. So her change of heart that liberated Mamoru from the mirror fragment and frees the other 8 Super Sailor Guardians trapped in the mirrors. Usagi then transforms into Eternal Sailor Moon, and using the vastly strong healing powers of the Eternal Tiare, she was able to thaw Queen Nehelenia's ice-cold heart and give her a second chance at a new life. Thinking it was all just a dream, her child form wakes up in front of her subjects and tells her that she was merely sleeping. Before she leaves to rest, she asks anyone will read her a bedtime story, and one of the subjects agrees, and the reborn Nehelenia smiles in appreciation.
Shortly after, Demande was attempting to hypnotize Sailor Moon so he could rule the universe with her by his side as queen, and was about to kiss her, but Tuxedo Mask comes and rescues her. Later, he hypnotizes Sailor Moon once more and nearly succeeds in winning her. But then she remembers her friends Mamoru and escapes Demande's hypnotic powers. She was able to warn him about Wiseman's deception. Enraged, he turns on him learning that he had killed Saphir in trying to warn him about the treachery. When Wiseman directed to 2 dark energy blades at Sailor Moon, Demande jumped in front of her and took the hit, and died as a result of the injury. However, he was able to damage Wiseman, shattering his arms, but Wiseman came back together. Before his death, Demande was able to tell Sailor Moon his true feelings for her. He did love her as a person, and to make amends for ever trusting Wiseman, he defended Sailor Moon from Death Phantom. Unfortunately, Wiseman's power was too much for him after he was vaporized. Before it happened, the man looked up at Sailor Moon and called her Queen.
Dead. Not a big surprise.
This is a reference to Krillin's death in a Namek saga in DBZ. We didn't mention the full title, Mina. We promised. For some reason, when Zoe tries to reach deep blue space, Sardin goes after her, but Tarb protects her and is killed by Sardin. And Zoe reaches the room with the Mew Aqua just as Deep Blue does and attacks. Sardin appears and pretends he is going to kill Mew Ichigo, but instead teleports in front of the Deep Blue and tries to attack, and Deep Blue dodges the attack and kills him. And Sardin dies in Zoe's arms as she cries, which was very sad. Before Deep Blue dies, he tells Zoe he wanted to save the Earth and that he loves her. And with Deep Blue's death, the Mew Aqua is released, healing the destroyed city, the Mimi's wounds, and reviving the dead aliens. Mark's body is returned to normal. Unwilling to let him die, Zoe kisses him and gives him all of her power. Mark awakens to find Zoe lying beside him dead. The other Mimis teleport into the base and begin crying over her death. They suddenly return to their normal forms as the base starts to fall apart. Dren appears with the last of the Mew Aqua. Tarb and Sardin also come and they thank the girls before teleporting them safely to the ground. And the 3 destroy the base to prevent it from falling in the city. Then they leave to return to their world. Mark kisses Zoe. She detransforms and wakes up to everyone's delight. The girls believe that they lost their powers permanently, but only to discover that they faded temporarily, and we are told that they have a new enemy.
About Penny, she returns with Bianco to stop Zatch and company from reaching the moat, but decides to move aside after everyone tells them their wrongdoings, as well as seeing Lila struggle with leaving the Moonlight. When Zatch and his allies appear hopeless fighting the moat of the Force Supreme Mamoto, she and Bianco finally turn against their master, with Penny destroying the sustaining Moonstone by assisting the enemy with her, so Gyaku, while her book is burned. Her final wish is being sent back is for Zatch and the others to forgive and play with Bianca when they return to the Mamoto world, which they agreed to. And Zatch also forgives Penny for her actions. Also, from the Zatch Bell review, Penny's English voice actor Stephanie Shea said that Penny's angry voice was fun but very difficult. She claimed to have done many takes to get it right, most of which involved changing the depth of her voice tone. And she also claimed that there were no modifications for the angry tone. It was all purely her. She also suffered vocal nodules and lost her voice on one occasion. So yeah, much like the others in the main video, Stephanie was also the victim of the vocal nodules of death.
Adult! When Sophus first met Coco at her village, right before the day that her acceptance letter to a local, prestigious university arrived, he told her about the battle for Mamoto King and offered the book to her as his partner. But she refused his offer, as she wasn't interested in the power of glory. Sophus then used the hidden pain and suffering to brainwash her and turn her into the ideal partner for him, one that enjoyed others' pain as much as he did. Together they burned down Coco's village and killed her parents and the people around her.
Dead. Not a big surprise.
A few moments later.
Coco was then taken
taken to a general hospital in France. After awakening, she was on a cover-up story that her village was attacked by an evil person. She fainted from shock and was left there unconscious for several months. Cherry then met with her, and after telling Coco that she submitted a leave of absence and that Coco would go to college when she got out of the hospital, and that the evil person that attacked her village was gone forever. Coco confronted Cherry, asking if Cherry had saved her once again. Coco admits that even though she didn't remember anything, she knew that Cherry saved her from the evil one because she had always saved her and helped her through hard times, even though Cherry was suffering a great deal more. Coco thanked Cherry for this, and the two friends tearfully embrace each other. She is now in college and is now beginning her brand new life. As for Kimberly, deep down she is jealous of Ilana and begins to fall for Octus. In Lessons in Love, Kimmy shows that she is having trouble in math, so she forces Isaac to help her, attempting many times through the episode to make him do it for her. All of them which fail. Newton encourages her to try, and to go beyond her social boundaries. Never having been treated like this by someone before, she decided to fall for Newton and even kisses him. She passes her math exam with an A, and the episode ends with Kimmy walking with Newton to their next classes holding hands, indicating that they are possibly dating. By the time the Ballad of Scary Mary, aka the Halloween episode, she has apparently went out with Newton a few times and manages to convince her stuck-up friends to accept their relationship with him. Great job, sis! For Jin Kazama, he literally started World War III and utilized his elite military unit, the Tekken Force, to carry out convert missions in order to engulf the world in chaos. By doing so, he rendered most countries' military power useless and seized control of energy resources, such as oil fields and space colonies. With his newfound power, he declared independence and waged war against the rest of the world.
Eventually,
awakening from his coma after Heihachi has been killed by Kazuya, Jin approaches Larsley and Elisa on the rooftop and agrees to help them take down Kazuya, who is still continuing the war despite his victory. Jin says that he is now the only one who can stop his father due to the devil's blood that runs through his veins. And he is prepared to destroy Kazuya and end the cursed Mishima bloodline once and for all. He's going to atone his sins in Tekken 8. The Spectre sisters often bicker among themselves and try to impress Crimson Rubius, trying to outdo one another, and at one point, Pets was even prepared to eliminate her sisters, whom she reviewed as traitor. Eventually, around the time, Rubius decided to kick them out. Each of the Spectre sisters wished to be purified from the effects of the malefic black crystal and become good people. They were healed by Sailor Moon using moon crystal power. Afterwards, they ran a cosmetic shop. In the hospital, Shark reflected on what he had learned after his duel with Chironex, especially about he and Rhea were supposedly killed in the car crash. When he turned around, he was shocked to see Dumont, who called him Nash and told him it was time to realize his identity. Shark and his comatose sister were transported back to the Number Ruins by Dumont and has experienced more memories of his past life. After Yuma and Astro's duel, Shark, sister, and the other emperors were revived by the power of the Numeron Code, continued to attend Heartland Academy with Rhea. Upon learning of a new crisis in the Astral world, he outjoined Yuma and headed there to help Astral. As for Prince Zuko, during the final battle with his sister, Zuko solidifies his redemption by sacrificing himself for the Avatar's friend, Katara, which allows her to defeat Azula. As for what happened to Karina, well, after arguing with Zoe on the mission, and the reason the cafe is that the girls have a home base, one that acts as a cover for their operations, which causes Karina to punch a tray. Elliot stopped the duo from fighting and remained civil after the Blue Aqua explanation and a date with Mark. And Kiki smells Zoe and Karina decides to blame her instead of the...
Are you serious?
It was at this moment when Renee showed up, and then...
Why don't you drop it?
Akito then walks to Shigure's home and finds Toru alone outside. Unbeknownst to her, Toru is not exactly in the best emotional state after her last talk with Kyo, where he explained to her how her mother died and the part he had on it. And before, she told him that she loved him and being refused by him over his guilt. Akito then comments that Toru must be happy because she won and had in the process destroyed only the life she had known. Akito then threatens Toru with a knife, but Toru, realizing that both she and Akito had been trying to hold on to an unchanging reality, seeing Akito clinging to the eternal bonds of the Zodiac, and Toru wanting her mother to always be first in her heart, told Akito that she understood how scary it was to be alone, and instead offered her hand in friendship, even introducing herself as if they never met before. Akito extended her hand, seemingly to accept the offer, but right before she could the unstable cliff ground collapsed and Toru fell. In the first volume of the series, just after a landslide destroyed Toru's tent, Shigure warned her that the ground around the area was unstable and due to collapse again one day. This is actually a reference to the Mishima Cliffs. Katsuhiro, Kodada, Michael, Murray, Caitlin Glass, if you're watching this.
Coincidence? I think not!
At the sight of her newfound friend falling to what could be her death rather than gloating or anything similar, Akito screamed to get help for Toru, ultimately collapsing in tears in Shigure's arms. When the hospitalized Toru recovered from the hospital and was finally allowed visitors to be on her immediate family, Akito was surprisingly the first one to visit. And more surprisingly, according to Hattori and Shigure, she went alone and entirely on her own accord. Fearful that she would be rejected by Toru and Kureno, both of whom she'd hurt emotionally and physically, Akito was told a comforting story by Momiji, who was offered advice that made it possible for Akito to see Toru and Kureno for who they really are. People whose kindness for others overrides their ability to be concerned about themselves. With that in mind, she finally went to see Toru, who offered her hand, despite that her arm was injured, to Akito in friendship again, which she accepted a small smile. This is similar to Princess Helenia in Silverman Classic Sailor Stars, the final chapter. Great work, sis! Now it's my turn. Speaking of Akito, Dabi got brainwashed by a dark McCardamal named Garyon. He abandoned Dina and went on his own. This is a reference to Doki Doki Pretty Cure, when Regina rejected Maya in the cure, but Dina freed him from mind control. Thank you, sis. Back to me. Baton pass! Now, about Regina, she left her father. She became worried and had thoughts of being bad once more. But Maya said not to worry. She then invited her to come to her house. She ate with Maya's family and saw that Maya's family was kind. Regina was elated to eat with her family, but at the same time, she felt a curious pain in her heart. While they were in Maya's bedroom, they talked about her father, the king mercenary. And at bedtime, Maya and Regina slept together. The next day, Regina and the others went to the beach and played together. After they did fun things, the trio suddenly came to attack the Cures to take back Regina. Then, an illusion of the king suddenly came and engulfed her inside a black tornado to have a chat with her. He wanted her to come back to him and break all her bonds with the Cures. Regina rejects initially, but continues about all the pain she felt was caused by the Cures. She still does not buy into it. So the king zaps her dark lightning, turning her heart black with selfishness once more. Her usual red and black color scheme for her outfit turned to a black and purple one. The Cures noticed her change in appearance and realized that King Mercenaire was controlling her. After discovering that she not only loves her father but her friends, Regina teams up with the Pretty Cure in order to save her father, who is trapped inside of the heart of King Mercenaire. Together with her biological sisters, Natalie Miller and Dina, Regina was able to help the king regain his love and free him. But before the Pretty Cure can celebrate, Belle arrives and absorbs the remaining evil of King Mercenaire.
Did you know that?
Regina is very similar to Sasuke, Uchiha, and Naruto. They started out as good and have a special relationship with the main protagonist, and which caused them to feel love. At some point, they turn evil when the villains offer her power. They even have the same color of scheme.
women, lives, and swords respectively. Just as they were about to be redeemed after the revelation of their origin. They weren't redeemed yet, but it looks like it took them to finally redeem in the final episode during their final battle with the main protagonist.
Now you know!
Now it's my turn. Tomoya met me, but he does not remember that we were once good friends when he entered the library and found me sitting on the floor barefoot, reading books with scissors in my hand, acting oddly with Tomoya. And after several meetings with me, Tomoya started skipping the fourth period to spend time with me in the library. And I soon decided to join the drama club. But just when I start to open up to everyone, a bus accident caused me to break down in front of everyone and I had to go home for that. So I returned home. So Tomoya visits me in my house and I discovered that he and I were childhood friends, but we lost contact with each other after my parents died in a plane crash. And not wanting to feel the pain of losing someone important anymore, I asked Tomoya if I could be alone. So, wanting to bring me away from my past, Tomoya decided to renovate my garden. One of the drama club members decided to gift me a violin. But it was unfortunately destroyed. And after renovating my garden, I appeared to Tomoya. And after some conversation, he brings me out of my house. And the next day, my guardian presents me my parents' briefcase that has traveled all the way to Japan. And inside was a cute teddy bear and a testimony, asking me to live the way I want to grow to be an adult. And I realized I am still being loved by my parents even after their death, and I break down in tears. I become more mature, and the drama club members finally give me a violin for this. Later on, I moved to America to further my studies. However, I occasionally visit Tomoya and the others, and I attended a reunion party with Tomoya and the other girls. And I was very interested in what my parents were studying before they died, which is a theory of the parallel world. So, I tell Tomoya, Nagisa, Ro, Kyo, and Yohei about the story while they visit Nagisa who was pregnant with their child, Yukio. I was last seen driving in my Volkswagen, presumably in the United States of America, judging by the side of the road I was driving on. Thank you, Futomi. Now we'll take a look at my past.
Let's burn this place to the ground!
What follows is a brief flashback.
I don't want to hear it! You've been jealous of him from the day he was born!
I've worried that might be the case for a while. I don't think you should live here anymore.
It'll be better for you this way.
Yes, this is for your sake.
You'll feel more comfortable on your own.
So, about this rumor.
Go away! Get out!
So what? You came here to play housekeeper? Maybe you wanted to ask me about the things those girls said before. Is that it? Think what you want. Believe them. Or not. I don't care. My parents didn't believe me. No one did. I'm done trying to convince people. What's the point? Yes. Yes. It scares me. My whole life, I was so nervous. The tiniest misstep and she'd be furious. Like I was walking a tightrope that grew thinner every day. Perfection is terrifying, suffocating. I can't stand it. I tried though. I did my best to be what they wanted me to be. But now, there's my little brother. So what? Why would you say something like that? You think I'm boring? I did everything you told me to, though. I worked hard to be perfect, like you said. No, that's not what I needed you to say. I did everything I could, and this is what you tell me? I'm something that went wrong. If I'm a mistake, what do I do now? Where do I go from here?
Sometime later.
It was cold. And I
was worried about my brother. I just didn't want him to get sick, you know? So I went to cover him with a blanket. What are you doing? I wasn't trying to hurt him. But they...
Mom, Dad, please, listen to me. I was just trying to...
I don't want to hear it!
I've worried this might be the case for a while. I don't think you should live here anymore.
It'll be better for you this way.
Yes, this is for your sake.
You'll feel more comfortable on your own. I couldn't get them to understand. I tried, but they'd already made up their minds. I just wanted to keep him warm.
We hope you enjoyed this flashback.
Is it true, sis? What he just said?
Hey!
Come on, don't you believe him too?
And your existence has been a constant reminder of that mistake.
That's okay, because in the next show, Deku and Lemillion saved me.
Well, to sum it all up, everybody, these people, including their voice actors, have a fan base. Except for Sophicia's children, because they have been the subject of criticism, especially since Soul Calibur 5 came out in 2012.
Traitor!
So, in conclusion, and to sum it all up, the moral of the story is, it takes a while for a character to redeem himself, as well as he or she will be able to reflect on the past. And, luckily, it will take time for him or her to make sure that he or she will atone sin.
Well done! Make sure to keep training!
Let this be a lesson for you!
The end.
Thanks for watching, everybody! What do you think? If you appreciate it, please be sure to super smash that like button, and also be sure to follow my social media platforms in the description below, and Team Lifelight's fan-up channels. And be sure to follow my Instagram at Pikachu and Sonic222 and my DeviantArt. Please be sure to leave a comment below and give us your open-minded thoughts, and we here at Team Lifelight's fan-dubs do not condone harassment or trolls allowed. Or otherwise, Ren Howard from Comedy Central's The Ren and Stimpy Show will hunt you down to the ends of the Shadow Realm. Please be sure to subscribe to our channels and click the notification bell. You'll never miss a video the second it goes live on YouTube and Google. Smartphone users, please be sure to press the button down there. And PC and laptop users, please be sure to click the subscribe button. Keep that in mind, and we'll see you all on the flip side. Bye-bye!
Good night, and God help us all.